What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. This time, I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of a theme. We're going to be using the Seven of Swords to kind of focus our energy and figure out how to navigate through a recent betrayal. Sometimes, regardless of how you show up to situations, other people can have their own shady actions that can impact you. So let's see about how we can resolve this and how we move forward from the backblow of others' actions when they kind of interfere with or interact with our reality in a way. I feel like it's so important to note that while everybody is technically you pushed out, people still do have free will. They are still able to make actions, make decisions, and do things that impact your experience to some degree. Now, how you choose to allow them to impact that or how you choose to move forward with whatever situation there is kind of what determines the outcome. But you can't fully control another human being and what they choose to do to you. Even when you are trying to, say, revise them and interact with a different version of them, they're still acting within a certain parameter of what you expect them to be. So if you expect them to be kind, they might have certain kind actions. However, if they might have been somebody who's not as kind, a little bit more of a, asshole, so to speak, then it's a little bit more likely that you're going to experience a spectrum of interactions that are on the not so positive side of that. As Abraham Hicks once said, sometimes that is just an asshole. But let's go on with the reading. So right away, I feel like with the Ace of Swords and the King of Swords, these are really strong indications of simply standing in your integrity and allowing what's meant to shine in the light or what's meant to come through to the light to be shown. The Ace of Swords, when we're dealing with betrayal, points towards whatever is being hidden, being revealed, and being brought up to the surface. When people operate out of a toxic mindset or out of negative patterns, their patterns catch up with them. The Devil card is sometimes about being caught and trapped, but sometimes that's by our own illusions. Sometimes that's by our own thought patterns and actions and our own maladaptive traits. So if you're dealing with somebody who, has been deceptive, then you have to trust that what's meant to come through is going to. Like, the truth always comes out. And in that exact same breath, this could be talking about freeing ourselves from being involved with this interaction to the best of our ability. While, we're dealing with the afterblow of what their betrayal or what their toxic behaviors have done, we don't necessarily have to continue to suffer as a result of it. It's, yes, very burdensome, but we deserve to at least feel positive emotions. We don't deserve to stay stuck in the spectrum of being frustrated and angry and all these negative things as a result of somebody who can't see their own toxicity. With reality being how malleable it is and there being an infinite amount of potential timelines to line up to, I'll always say that I've seen justice and the truth come or prevail in countless situations. So sometimes it's just a matter of trusting that and doing your best to move forward. And with the Magician and the King of Swords, we have the ability to navigate this. We have the mind, we have the intellect, we have the resources. We are the person who is capable of putting all of these things together in order for us to navigate through and get through the situation. And I promise, as a magician myself, I will always make sure I align to the timeline in which people get what's coming to them. If there's one belief system that I would be damned if I don't hold. And in that exact same breath, if you did nothing wrong, then you shouldn't have any fear of any repercussions. But if you're out there doing people wrong and you know for a fact that you are not doing right by people, then what goes around comes around. And sometimes we are people's karma. Sometimes we're the one who have to focus our intentions in knowing and redirecting the universe's energy to allow karma to be facilitated. You don't have to be petty. You don't have to necessarily try and hex or curse somebody. You just have to stand in the knowing that justice will happen and watch it play out. And then we have the World card. So, it's not exactly the best ending to the chapter. It's something that's obviously very overburdening, but everything comes full circle. And of the World card, we head into an era of completion. We head into an era of wholesomeness, of being fulfilled. So while we are leaving this behind, we are stepping into something so much better, and we have to do our best to trust that. And it's really interesting that this is the Devil card, because this quite literally depicts somebody who's manipulating two individuals into fighting against each other when in reality they have the same goal. So I mean, if your situation's anything like mine, there's definitely somebody who's in the background trying to pull the strings and causing all this discord. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's really interesting as well, because directly under the Devil we had Aang, and then here's the scene in which Aang essentially, this is like the climax of the show. Essentially, this is like where he defeats the Fire Lord, where he overcomes the negative aspects and the negative experiences, and essentially his enemy. So I find it very funny that the Devil would be in the center, Aang would be directly under it, and then this is the scene of Aang defeating Fire Lord Ozai. So you gotta trust and believe, like, people always get what's coming to them. Either way, peace and blessings. I'm sorry if this reading has a little bit of anger behind it, but I feel like sometimes our anger and sometimes our frustration and sometimes these emotions that we can deem negative, they're part of the human experience. And within spirituality, sometimes we have the tendency to demonize that. We have the tendency to try to just vibrate high and pay attention to the positive emotions. But our anger is a very valid thing. It shows us where we have had boundaries that were overstepped, and it's a part of us deep down inside that knows that we deserve to be treated better. There's nothing wrong with feeling angry or feeling frustration or feeling sad or feeling frustrated about a situation, especially when you know that you were done wrong or that you didn't deserve the outcome of what happened. However, it's again all about how we move forward and how we take control of the situation from here to be able to change the course of what's going to come. You are the magician. You are the one who is able to hold your destiny in your hand. So nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop what's coming for you. Nobody can stop what's meant for you. You are, at the end of the day, the operant power in your reality. So you get to be the one to determine that this can either be a minor setback or something that can break you. But the biggest thing is moving forward and doing your best to navigate through these trials as you do move on with as much grace and with as much peace and with as much kindness as possible. One of my favorite things about Aang is no matter how much he went through, he didn't allow his pain and his suffering to distort or twist or affect how he treated other people. He still managed to treat everybody with as much kindness as he possibly could, and I think that's something that some people can learn from. Not allowing your personal, issues and struggles to bleed out into other people. Not allowing what your frustrations are to be projected onto other people, and then, kind of just justify that. But we're going to leave that right here. Again, the Ace of Swords, the truth always comes out, so you gotta trust and believe. Peace and blessings, everyone, and I hope you guys have an amazing night.